Taurus, welcome to your March reading, March 13th through 20th. This is the inside of my van, or at least part of it. I'm not quite finished. I have to do a few like cabinet doors, but I should be up and running shortly. So I've got a big build out going here. So this is my rolling home. Thank you for joining me today. We're going to do a reading for you, Taurus, and we'll be using a deck that I did not have when I recorded your last video. This is the Curious Creatures deck that I picked up while I was on my trip. You know, as you might recall, I was at a lovely Airbnb last time. Anyway, here we are in the van. 3 cards for the general energy. We'll clarify using the Rider-Waite, and then we will get an outcome, potential outcome line for you, Taurus. So, all right, my friends, let's check it out. Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands, a queen that's really hot. Okay, 5 of Swords. And the Hermit. Okay. So, I mean, you may have had a conflict with a fire sign. 7 of Wands on the bottom. You know, that energy of defending yourself in a brave and bold way. Now, I feel like, though, you maybe had a conflict with a fire sign, or you were recently, if we look at it as more like a recent past kind of situation, that conflict, whatever it was, with the 5 of Swords kind of puts you into a hermit mode, and maybe you're coming out the other side in a very attractive way. Yeah, you may have just come back very empowered from that whole situation and looking very attractive, so that's good. You know, when we go into hermit mode, it's not just for our own healing, it's also for, you know, it ends up being something that we get to share with the world, you know, our light, our inner light. You know, we gain wisdom, and it just naturally tends to find its way out, seep out into our surroundings, and you know, and teach people and bless other people around us. So it's a beautiful thing. All right, Taurus, let's get some clarification over the Queen of Wands. We've got the Moon, so there's some hope stream spheres there. We've got 7 of Swords, so there may have been some deceit. And we've got King of Swords. Yeah. With the Moon, the 7 of Swords, and the King of Swords, I feel like maybe this person, if you were dealing with the Queen of Wands, if that resonates, I feel like, so there was something sneaky going on that maybe, frankly, wasn't something that you were too excited about. And, you know, I think you just know, like, you're just like, yeah, stop lying to me. You know, King of Swords is very impartial, very sharp, analytical, and you know, it's like, with this here, it's just, this to me is just like that, why you always lying? You know, you just know when people are fucking lying. Sorry. I'm not sorry. You know, I'm not. Dude, fucking liars are the worst. They're just the worst. Sometimes, you know what I mean? And you're just like, why? Why are you telling me things that aren't true? As if you don't know, right? Because you do. All right. Well, anyway, let's clarify the 5 of Swords. We have the 8 of Pentacles. I wanted to jump. You know, that's that energy of working on your craftsmanship skill, whatever. We've got the World. So this thing is over. You know, it's the end and a new beginning. And look at this. Queen of Wands again. I feel, and then we got the Empress on the bottom. That's you, Taurus. I feel like the Queen of Wands is the original one, the OG, is like somebody else that you're having a conflict with, but you're done. I feel like you're working on yourself instead, working on what makes you out in the world, right? You decided, just because you had the ability to just see through the bullshit, you know, you're done with it. You've ended the cycle and you're ready to start a new thing. And now you're showing up as the Queen of Wands. Very, very attractive, you know. Again, empowered, attractive, radiant. So take it as it resonates, especially if you're a feminine. I mean, you know, yeah, I like it. All right, let's clarify the Hermit for you, Taurus. No more bullshit. You know, it's just, people try to bullshit a Taurus. It's like, what are you even doing? What are you even doing? We pretty much just walk around and... what am I trying to say? Okay, I'm gonna leave that alone. Never mind. Never mind. You already know anyway. It's like... Why? Why do people do this? Okay, the Hermit. Nine of Wands. Okay. The Hanged Man. Nine of Swords. Yeah, you know, and then we've got the Four of Swords on the bottom, which is sort of like the Nine of Swords is that up all night in anguish situation. They're both in bed. The Four of Swords is more like resting and recovering, right? So it's kind of like two sides of the same coin. They're both, although I would say karmically, like sometimes the Nine of Swords has more to do with something that you're more directly responsible for. The Four of Swords is almost like, to me, feels more like when something's been done to you, you know, it's a little bit out of your hands. I don't know. Let's get into this. So the Nine of Wands over the Hermit, this is like usually something suggesting that something is nearing, like a manifestation is nearing a completion, but it's a waiting, you know, a waiting around it, a waiting energy. And I think that and it's two nines. You've got the Nine of Swords and the Nine of Wands. I think that the anguish you're feeling is going to slowly turn into optimism as you gain a new perspective. You know, this worry is going to turn into more of a waiting because you're seeing it from a different light. You're probably, especially with the King of Swords there, I feel like you're seeing something through a new light and recognizing that this is actually to your benefit. Like, if, you know, this person, whatever, this other person really wasn't good for you after all. I think you know that. You know, deep down you know that. That's my hunch. Okay, I'm going to shift these over. I'm still getting the hang of this van situation, so bear with me as we work through the tweaks here. I know the lighting's not the best. I know the sound's not the best. But we're gonna make improvements, so please stick around if these readings are resonating. Thank you for being here as well, Taurus. Because you know I love you. And, yeah. Alright, 3 cards for the outcome for Taurus. What's the potential outcome for Taurus? What's the potential outcome for Taurus? Okay, one more shuffle. It's getting a little clunky here. I don't know what's going on. They're fighting. One more. Okay. Might just be really... It's actually really cold. It could just be my hands. Anyway, excuse me. Okay, look at this. Potential outcome, 9 of Swords. Again, 9 of Swords. Again. Worrying, right? This is potential outcome. Bear that in mind. 4 of Wands. Victory. Well, not celebration. Excuse me. 6 of Wands is victory, guys. But this is a celebratory energy. Yeah, I like that. Okay. And we've got the Sun. The Sun. Okay. Now, that's really interesting. I need to correct something here, and I don't necessarily need to, but I feel like I'm going to. King of Wands on the bottom. That's interesting. That's a good energy as well. I'm reading this way, and I just did this on the outcome, so let me change this around here. Okay. 9 of Swords over here on you, right? And the Hanged Man, you remember that whole scenario from a minute ago? I'm sure you remember. The Sun. Again, you gain new perspective. You're going to shine. You're going to be brilliant and beautiful. 4 of Wands, the celebratory energy over the Eight of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands, and the World, right? I feel like good things, really good things are coming in for you. Now, this other person that you were dealing with, this other Queen of Wands, Nine of Swords. 10-10 when I said that. They're out in the cold. Now they're thinking about you. You know, now they're wondering if you will forgive them, perhaps, if you will come back to them, if you'll reconsider them. Now they're the one that's up at night. So, depending on your placements, you may think that's awesome. You may be like, huh, you know, serves them right. I'm a Taurus sun, but I also have this, I'm a Cancer rising. And so when I see stuff like this, where it's like, yeah, the other person's going to be miserable, I never really like that. That's not my favorite. I'm too soft for that, I guess. But that seems to be the situation. Now, if you're like me, and you're soft like that, just stop it. You don't have to be like happy that they're sad. But that you don't go try to fix it. Don't go try to fix it. Because what are we not seeing? We've got the Moon, the Seven of Swords over this person, the Five of Swords. It's like, what are we not seeing? What are we missing? You know, you may be able to discern and cut through the bullshit, but what are you totally unaware of? Just don't. If that's a situation, if you've got a situation there, just let him be, you know, that's all. Wish him well, move on. Have a nice life, you know. So that's all I have for you, Taurus. If this resonated, please consider subscribing. Thank you for watching the video, and I hope to see you next time, my friends. Full gang.